Authorities in Armenia have leveled criminal charges against the second and third presidents of modern Armenia, Robert Kocharyan and Serzh Sargsyan. Both former presidents Kocharyan and Sargsyan are currently charged with crimes both involving money. Kocharyan had the conviction overturned by an Armenian appeals court on a technicality. He has since been charged for another crime, that of accepting a huge bribe. Sargsyan's previous criminal charges were for obstructing government actions. Those charges are still in the court system. Neither Kocharyan or Sargsyan are natural-born Armenian citizens. They were born in the Nagorno-Karabakh region of Azerbaijan. Both participated in the armed and violent secession by ethnic Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh. Both were part of the military forces that initiated the secession from Azerbaijan. Sargsyan headed the military forces that fought Azerbaijan until and after a ceasefire halted military activities in 1994. Armenian and Russian forces commanded by Sargsyan attacked and destroyed the Azerbaijani town of Kocharyan on February 26, 1992. They killed hundreds of unarmed Azerbaijani men, women, and children, plus a handful of defenders who were mostly teenage boys with no military experience. Armenia to this day refuses to acknowledge the war crimes committed that night by Armenian forces. Mass murder of people trying to escape the town was a war crime by any definition. Not, however, according to Armenian apologists since that deadly night. But there is one Armenian who brags, who boasts of what happened at Kocharyan, and he does so without mincing words. He is the former Armenian president and prime minister and military leader who commanded the forces that murdered the people of Kocharyan. His name is Serzh Sargsyan. This is what Sargsyan told British scholar Thomas de Waal in his book, Black Garden. Before Kocharyan, the Azerbaijanis thought they were joking with us. They thought that the Armenians were people who could not raise their hand against the civilian population. We were able to break that stereotype, and that's what happened. Those are the words of a bragging, pompous criminal admitting his crime for all to see. Those words must be seen as a confession of the war crimes of his troops. Today, Serzh Sargsyan, his lawyers said that the timing of the current bribe charges was suspicious, coming amid a period of bad news on the border with Azerbaijan. Here we go again, blame Azerbaijan. Sargsyan built an entire political career on blaming neighbor Azerbaijan with all troubles, including charges he accepted a huge bribe. From the day a ceasefire was signed with Azerbaijan in 1994 to the present, Sargsyan has blamed Azerbaijan for every event and turn of events in the South Caucasus. That includes a flare-up in 2016 that lasted 4 days that resulted in Azerbaijan recovering land Armenia had occupied in 1994. He also blamed the 44-day war that ended a year ago on November 10th on Azerbaijan, despite the fact the entire 44-day combat was fought on internationally recognized sovereign territory of Azerbaijan within Azerbaijan's borders. He and his political party declared that the conflict was initiated by Azerbaijan. Many international observers wonder how that is possible when Armenian forces fired prohibited missiles at Azerbaijan targets and cities hundreds of kilometers away from the Armenian-occupied Karabakh region of Azerbaijan. A very telling proof of that view is the reason Russia gave when the Armenian President Nikol Pashinyan demanded Russia protect Armenia from Azerbaijan forces when the combat started in September 2020. Russia declined with the reason that the mutual Russian-Armenian Defense Treaty protected Armenian national territory only, not occupied territory of another nation. Not 1 square inch of Armenia was involved in the 44-day war. It was fought entirely on Azerbaijani territory, albeit it had been occupied for 30 years by the Armenian forces. Former President Kocharyan's previous criminal charges have been thrown out by an Armenian appeals court, but the current charges have yet to be litigated. Was he bribed? We don't know yet. Using the American standard of innocence until proven guilty, he should be considered innocent because he has yet to be tried on these charges. What we do know is that Robert Kocharyan has been a proponent of war against Azerbaijanis his entire political career. Kocharyan was elected president of Armenia twice, in 1998 and 2003. Both presidential elections were held in 2 rounds, that is, a primary and then a final. Kocharyan's predecessor, Levon Ter-Petrosyan, repeatedly accused him and Serzh Sargsyan of being complicit in the 1999 shooting of the Armenian parliament, which killed the Speaker of the Parliament and the Prime Minister. Kocharyan was charged in 2018 with bribe-taking and, quote, overthrowing the constitutional order, unquote, by the use of military forces during the political crisis that followed the presidential election of February 2008. Back then, 10 protesters were killed by Armenian police in the streets of Yerevan, the capital, because they were protesting against the fraudulent election held by Kocharyan in order to bring his buddy Sargsyan to power. In 2021, Kocharyan participated in the Armenian parliamentary election as the head of the Armenian alliance with the Armenian Revolutionary Federation and the Reborn Armenia Party. The coalition came into second place after Nikol Pashinyan's Civil Contract Party and entered parliament as the opposition. What we have here is a dynamic Armenian duo of Kocharyan and Sargsyan. They have been political twins since their 20s. Politically, they oppose the current government that kicked them out of power in 2018. They blame Prime Minister Pashinyan for the 44-day war and the return of thousands of square kilometers of territory to Azerbaijan. They insist on making more war, making war like they did when they ran Armenia like a private fiefdom. In the final analysis, Robert Kocharyan and Serzh Sargsyan are charged criminally with taking illegal money when they ran Armenia as presidents. What they are not charged with is war crimes that they orchestrated in 1992 and since. They ordered the displacement of almost 1 million Azerbaijanis from their centuries-long homes in Armenia and Karabakh. They ordered missile strikes and bombardments of civilian populations. They instituted and implemented political corruption beyond description, and they did so for more money and power. Over 20,000 Azerbaijanis died, with 100,000 wounded in the war of medieval-style land grab run by these 2 Armenian politicians. The Kocharyan-Sargsyan duo were the architects of the massacre of Azerbaijani civilians at Khojaly. I accuse the duo of Kocharyan and Sargsyan of war crimes. Specifically, there are 2 charges I suggest. 1, of total ethnic cleansing, and 2, mass murder on February 26, 1992 at a town named Khojaly. The United Nations Security Council should appoint a special tribunal to charge, try, and convict these 2 war criminals.